Have you ever run a Facebook ad with super high hopes only to get devastated by the lack of results? Well, that ends today because in this video, I'm going to share with you how to create Facebook ads to generate real estate leads for less than $2. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. All right, we're here in the Ads Manager where it all goes down. But before we begin, we need to determine what type of lead we want to attract. For our purposes, we are running leads to generate some buyers. So now the question becomes, what type of ad am I going to run to generate those buyer leads? For our purposes today, we are going to run a price drop ad because for my money and for a lot of the agents' money, it is actually the least expensive ad to run. So we have run this ad in California, New York, Arizona, Texas, Florida, Washington State, and the list goes on and on and on. And it has performed incredibly well in all of those states. There hasn't been one where it's flopped. Now, there has been some states where we needed to make some adjustments with the targeting, but for all intents and purposes, it has just produced and continued to producing. So that's the type of ad that we are going to run. Now, we do have to determine how are we going to deliver the information. So keep in mind, with a price drop ad, our lead magnet is actually the property itself, the property's information. We are advertising that there's a price drop on a property, and then in exchange for the contact's information or the lead's information, we are giving them the pictures, the address, the price, and everything that goes along with the property. So the lead magnet itself is a property. And what's important is how are you going to deliver that information. You can, well, before we get into that, let me just show you how to get to that step. We are going to create a lead generation campaign right off the bat. The lead generation for my money is the easiest or the simplest type of campaign to launch, especially if you're just starting out. You don't have to worry about landing pages. You don't have to worry about much. Really, the only thing that you do have to worry about is the privacy policy that Facebook is going to ask you to provide. So we're going to press lead generation. We're going to go to continue. All right. We're not going to worry about the name for our purposes today, but we do have to select that it's a housing ad, which is in the special ad category. As a reminder, if you're running credit, employment, and housing type of ads, you do need to select that it's a special ad category, which basically it restricts your ad set, the targeting that you can do, but at the end of the day, you can still reach the end consumer, the end client, but you're just not able to select the filters on the front. Another way of saying it is you're going directly to the consumer without being able to put some filters in there and parameters around the people that you may not want to market to. But that's okay. At the end of the day, you're reaching the person that you need to reach. Buying type, we're going to go with auction, objective, lead generation, A/B testing. A lot of folks have been messaging me about this, and if I condone or if I use A/B testing, I personally do not. I don't like the way that it's presented. I don't think it's as intuitive as it should be. So I don't do it that way. I go through and create the entire campaign first, and then I duplicate the campaign, and then I make my adjustments. It may take maybe 2 seconds longer, but it's a little bit easier for me to get the split testing that I want. And then with the campaign budget optimization, what that means is if you were to toggle the switch right now, you put the budget that's going to go with everything. So you select the budget from the campaign level, let's say $100, and then at the ad set level, even if you're split testing different target audiences, you're not able to select the budget that you want to allocate per category, per ad set. Facebook would do that for you. I don't necessarily like that, but that's actually where Facebook is going full time, optimizing from the campaign level. Selecting the budget from the campaign level. It's going there, and it should have been there by now, which is surprising that it hasn't, but at the end of the day, we're going to continue to set our budget over at the ad set for this video. When that changes, I'll of course update you, but for our purposes right now, we're going to continue going. And again, we're not going to worry about the name. You're going to select the page that you're advertising from. Make sure that you select the terms and conditions for Facebook. If this is the first time that you're running a lead ad, then you do have to select it, or it's going to give you an error message. We're not going to worry about dynamic creative or catalog, which is a new section that they just added. And then on the budget and schedule, you're going to select your budget. Let me move myself down just a little bit. You would select your budget right here. For our purposes, we are going to go with $20. That is fine. But just know that whatever budget you have, that's the correct answer. I know I get that question a lot. Should I spend $5, $50, $100 per day? Whatever budget is within your reach, then that's what the right answer is, to be completely candid with you. So we go to people living in this location. For our purposes today, we're going to go with Houston, Texas. So you see there's plenty of people there. So unless you have thousands and thousands of dollars per day, you're not going to be able to saturate it with, regardless of the budget that you go with. All right, and for this particular ad, we are actually not going to even use some targeting. We're not going to select any type of targeting here. As a reminder, when you did the special ad category, you did away with selecting the age. You did away with selecting the gender. You did away with being able to select the demographics. So for our purposes today, you're actually going to just leave this blank. I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me, it's going to work. And also, another way to prove it that it's going to work is you can split test it. Split test it based off of other interests. So run an ad that has no interest, and then do a duplicate. This goes back to split testing, and run an ad that has people that are have an interest of Zillow, have an interest in Trulia, have a real interest in Realtor.com. So you can select those right here, and that's how you appropriately split test them. Placements, very important here. We're gonna unselect the automatic placements because that's going to cost us some money, and we're going to only advertise in Facebook newsfeed. What I like to do is I like to split test placements as well. So I like to run an ad for Facebook newsfeed, and then I like to run another ad for completely, well, it's going to be the same ad but in a different placement. It would be the Instagram feed. So again, once you get through with your ad creation, you duplicate that campaign and then select the additional placement that you want to go with. So we'll continue going, only leaving the news feed, all devices on. Don't worry about optimization and delivery, especially starting out. Again, we're not worried about the ad name at the moment. We already selected the identity, the page that we want to use. We're going to clear the images. We're going to add one. We're going to go over here, go to stock photos, go to house. And at this point, since it is a price drop, you would select the image of the property that has the price drop, which again, it goes back to knowing what you're going to do prior to even launching the campaign. So I'm going to put the ad copy here so you see it on the screen, and now it's going to start populating it over here. So you see what it looks like, and from a desktop view, from a mobile view. Let's look at the ad copy. So you say price drop in a certain city. So price drop on Houston home for sale, and then a unique feature to the property. So it could be a cool pool, it could be an updated kitchen, it could be that it's by a lake. Whatever it is, that is something that you want to highlight. And then learn more for the lead magnet. In this case, the lead magnet is going to be the property information. So pictures, it's going to be the address, it's going to be the price. And if you have a virtual tour, certainly include that, especially during these times. So that's what makes this ad copy really pop. The price drop ad has really, it's one of the best ads that I've ever personally run. Actually, it has the record for the best ad that I've ever run with the amount of leads and the return on investment. So make sure that you have an appealing image right here. If you want to split test the images, you go with carousel and include different cards in that manner. So you select an image and then you select the headlines. The ad copy doesn't change, so you're going to find incredible results that way as well. But for our purposes, we're going to leave it in the single image for now. Price, let's see, let's just say Houston home will not last. All right, we're going to go with learn more. All right, and now we're going to create a lead form. This is the important part. This goes back to you not needing to create a landing page or a website. This is what's going to make a lead generation so much easier for you to implement very, very quickly. You're going to name the form, so just name it. Name the form. You're going to go to settings. You're going to open up, meaning your ad can be shared by anyone. and anybody can submit the form. So if somebody that knows your business goes off and shares the ad once it shows to them, then you get some free leads that way, so they're able to share it. All right, you go to more volume. On the form type, the intro, all you're gonna say is price drop on Houston home. You're gonna use the same image for your ad. And then here is don't miss out. Questions. This is where you ask what the fields that you want to intake. So you can add, let's say, a phone number. So phone number right there. So we're gonna ask for the full name. You can actually get away with only asking for the first name. It's a little bit it's actually a little bit easier. You're gonna find some good results that way as well, as it's a little bit less informal, or a little bit more informal, meaning less threatening for people. So full name, email, phone number, privacy policy. Here's that link that I was telling you about, that you at least need one link in order to launch the campaign. So this is where it goes. You would put the privacy policy, and then you put the URL. So on this one, I'm just gonna put my URL of your privacy policy. Now make sure that the privacy policy is actually a privacy policy, not just a generic link that I just put. So that is something that Facebook, if they find out that you're sending people to a privacy policy that does not exist, that is grounds for terminating your ad account, your business account, and your abilities to advertise at any point in time. So just know that if right now you're getting away with not linking to a privacy policy, know that you're risking your privileges on advertising. Then you're going to select the thank you. So thanks, you're all set. Check your email. Then on the button type, which you're not seeing right now, but it's over here on the button type, you can send them to a website. So if you have an IDX website, you can send them there, or you can ask them to give you a call. So let's talk. Then you would just press save and finish. For our purposes, since this one's just a dummy one, I'm not going to save or finish. So I'll just put OK. Once you have that, make sure that your pixel is up, and then you hit publish, and you're going to be generating buyer leads. Well, now that you know how to run Facebook ads for buyer leads, you might be interested in attracting sellers. And I'll leave that video right here for you to take a view. And if you found value today, please be sure to subscribe so we can talk again soon.